Hello and welcome to the news at 10 on NTA News 24. We are reaching you live from Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. Thanks for joining us. The headlines. President Bola Tinubu to attend second term inauguration of President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa. Healthcare delivery receives boost with acquisition of multi-million-dollar oxygen plants for Federal Medical Center Abeokuta. Tenure expiration in Rivers State. Security officials beef up presence in response to alleged attempt to vandalize government assets. Former head of state Yakubu Gowon commends Nigerian Institute of Public Relations for driving national unity and cohesion. President Bola Tinubu is in South Africa ahead of the second term inauguration of President Cyril Ramaphosa, slated for today, Wednesday, 19th June. The president, Tuesday morning, departed Lagos, his home state, where he spent the Salah break and landed at the South African Air Force base, Waterkloof, at about 5:30 p.m. local time. The inauguration of President Ramaphosa follows his re-election as president for a second term. Acting Permanent Secretary in Nigerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ben Okoyen, says President Bola Tinubu's attendance at the inauguration underscores the importance of the relations between Nigeria and South Africa.
This is a very normal and usual visit, and Nigeria take this opportunity to also visit to strengthen our relationship. Nigeria and South Africa has come a long way. These are big players in the African continent, the biggest economies and the promoters of democracy. Today we are celebrating another success of democracy. So it is very important that Nigeria is in this country today to be with the South African people to ensure that we continue to show example to others.
An earlier statement by the Presidential Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngalale, indicates that President Tinubu is to return to Nigeria after the ceremony. The federal government has recorded yet another success in efforts to boost healthcare delivery through health infrastructural development, with the acquisition of a multi-million-dollar oxygen plant for the Federal Medical Center Abeokuta, Ogun State. Lekan Agbondir examines the importance of the oxygen plants on healthcare delivery.
An average human being who takes in oxygen and releases carbon dioxide with a perfect respiratory system may not know the value or worth of what nature gives them freely until there is a need for oxygen while on a sick bed. Medical and health professionals who care for the sick understand the value of oxygen as a crucial substance.
If there is any deficiency of oxygen or the percentage that is required in the body, once it is below that, then all other systems will be affected and we are likely to lose the patient.
If you look at a newborn baby, premature baby, 28 weeks, 30 weeks, most of those babies, I can say almost 100% of them cannot survive without availability of oxygen.
Although the Federal Medical Center Abeokuta as an institution has experienced unprecedented transformation, achievements and breakthroughs, the acquisition of this oxygen plant is regarded as a huge narrative in the history of the institution. The CMD, Professor Adewale Musa Olomu, expresses gratitude to the federal government, Ministry of Health, the USAID and other agents of development for the success story that is set to transform and influence activities at the hospital positively.
Because we spend millions, our daily consumption is something close to about 2.5 million worth of oxygen. And you know that getting this from the private sector that are manufacturing oxygen is an Herculean task. So that we have them in our center right now is one of the greatest achievements of this administration.
Professionals such as nurses and others say they cannot be more satisfied with the value that the multi-million-dollar project will bring to their daily activities.
It has made a tremendous impact. Somebody like me can now sleep peacefully at night, because anytime there is lack of oxygen or there is a dearth of oxygen, either in the theater, in the ward, in the accident and emergency, or anywhere within the hospital where oxygen may be needed, you can bet that I will get several phone calls overnight.
It enhances our performances as nurses, because many patients that will have died untimely, by the time you give them oxygen therapy, you realize that they are revived.
Because we run 3 shifts there, morning, afternoon, nights. So making sure those staff are on ground to run the 3 shifts, and we must make sure that oxygen is produced at the appropriate line. That is to make sure oxygen is available for patients' use.
With the plant in place, the Federal Medical Center Abeokuta now has the capacity to process both gaseous and liquid oxygen for the hospital and other health facilities around that may require their services. In Abeokuta, Lekon Agbonde, NTA News.
Meanwhile, detecting sickle cell carriers from infancy has now been pinpointed as a strategic quest in dealing with the disease burden as countries unite to mark the 2024 World Sickle Cell Day. Olusheye Adeagbo in this report examines progress in Nigeria's sickle cell disease management, challenges carriers face, and recommendations for its possible elimination in the country.
They are often referred to as warriors in Nigeria for waging war with this health challenge to survive. Carriers of sickle cell disease, SCD, who have adhered strictly to medical counsel, have proved that the condition isn't a death sentence.
Some people feel that, or they've heard that once you're a sickler, you cannot live up to 18 years, you cannot live up to 20, some people say 25 years. But at our clinic, we have warriors who are above 55. We have some who are close to 60. And this was being possible because they were able to get the health maintenance tips, daily health education on different aspects of how to live a longer and a better life.
There are likely symptoms mothers should look out for, and Iyobosa Juliet Arono, a research nurse, highlights some of them.
While we emphasize coming for routine care, the mothers are taught how to palpate or check for the spleen every time they are bathing the baby, to check if it is hard or if it is swollen. And there's a way we teach them how to measure it, you understand? So when it is enlarged, it is swollen, they can feel it as they are bathing the baby. It is directly below the rib. So we ask them to always watch out for that. You see the child starts crying, the hands are swollen, the legs are swollen. It's called hands and foot syndrome. So we advise mothers, once you see this and the temperature is high, please take the child to a nearby hospital for proper care.
Olariwaju Salau and Blessing Bedium are both 35 years. They share with me some of the challenges.
I have passed through work stigmatization in so many aspects. I don't normally hide that I'm a sickle cell patient, so I always tell them my checkup days. In some schools, the owner of the schools might say, okay, you can go. Some will say, no, now only you nine they sick, that kind of thing. In this our school, nobody they sick, or that kind of thing. And when you are sick for some few days, they'll be telling you you're the one bringing down the school.
Well, growing up, we didn't have as much advancement in the health sector just as we have now.
Salau, now a father of two, revealed a sharp contrast between growing up when access to qualified medical personnel was limited and the present when care has improved.
We have people, doctors now, that actually know exactly what they're doing. They can really know how to treat you better. And then the advancement in the drug area, we don't just, before it was just folic acid and paludrin, then we have other drugs now that you can use, like hydroxyurea, which has been helpful in the
Since 2009, June 19 every year is now dedicated as a day to identify with these warriors. Experts now call for more sensitization to tame its spread.
The first thing is, as much as possible, people who are carrying carriers of the traits should not marry carriers too, so that they don't give birth to children with sickle cell disease. Another thing we can do is early detection. Screen these babies as soon as they are born. Find them early, put them into care, and manage them properly.
And for our government, we're actually advocating that they should put sickle cell disease, they should give it a priority to see how those who are already identified can be, the burden of care can be reduced on their part.
Recognized as public health problem, sickle cell anemia in National Institutes of Health (NIH) document affects 20 to 25 million people globally, out of which about 15 million reside in Africa, and Nigeria is believed to be the most sickle cell endemic country, with 2 to 3% of the total population affected. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
And still on health-related matters, discrimination against people living with autism continues to be of great concern in today's society. June 18th, being World Autistic Pride Day, seeks to correct this anomaly while bringing acceptance and understanding about the condition. As the day is being marked this year, Francisca Bille examines the challenges of those living with the condition.
Nigeria, we hail thee.
20-year-old Ahmed Salami is a special boy who has had to deal with multiple health challenges right from childhood. He was diagnosed with autism, a brain disorder which causes autistic people to behave, communicate, interact or learn in ways that are different from others. Ahmed also battles cerebral palsy and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, but with the help of his supportive mother, he is now using content creation on YouTube to tell his story and advocate inclusivity for people with the same condition.
So guys, stop with the bullying, please. Stop with the physical bullying and the verbal bullying. It's not cool, not cool. They're discriminating. We're not animals, man. We're not animals. We, animals either love us or leave us. That's just how it is.
When I was told, I was actually very upset. I cried for 2-3 days because his life entirely is a challenge. He did not walk early. That means he had to do a lot of physiotherapy before he started moving his leg after he turned 2. He didn't have neck control. He didn't sit. Everything was delayed. He didn't have speech until he was around 6, 7. We did tests to determine if he could hear. Because we knew he could hear, we were encouraged to keep talking to him. So we also use this opportunity to encourage all parents. Even if your child is non-verbal and he doesn't respond to you, as long as the child can hear, keep talking.
Cases like Ahmed's prompted a group called the Aspies for Freedom in 2005 to establish World Autistic Pride Day to be held yearly on June 18. The day is a reminder to all autistic patients that they are a treasured part of the human society. As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark the day, many questions about autism remain unanswered, especially the acceptance and neurodiversity.
Autism cannot be cured. It can only be managed. Okay, so if you manage it to a certain point, it becomes non-traceable. Okay, so people should actually accept them the way they are. We do applied behavioral analysis. We work on their behavior. They still go to school. Most of them still go to higher institution. So we still provide that special education for them.
The theme for this year's World Autistic Pride Day is moving from surviving to thriving. In Abuja, Francisca Bille, NTA News.
You're watching the news at 10 on NTA News 24. More reports after this break. Stay with us.
What is fake news? A false information with no verifiable source presented as true story on media platforms with the sole intention of causing injuries, chaos, and disaffection between persons, groups, or countries. Fake news facilitates extremism. Fake news creates panic and distrust. Fake news breeds hatred. Fake news kills. Don't joke with it. Don't be in a rush. Verify your sources and facts. It is better late than fake. This message is brought to you by NTA News24.
Thanks for staying with us. The All Progressives Congress Southwest Zone of Persons Living with Disabilities has admonished citizens to support the present administration's efforts to reposition the country for the better. Leader of the zone, Dr. Abayomi Sowetan, after a visit to President Bola Tinubu in Lagos, believes that the economic hardship being faced will soon be over and pleaded with President Tinubu to recognize Queen Halimat Adenike Tejuosho, an APC stalwart whose foundation has done a lot to address their plight.
And she has been extending support to persons with disability and even the vulnerables in different parts of the country. In Abuja, she has, I think in Borno, she has visited the IDP camp there. She has met with orphanages within Abuja before, and she donated palliative in my own state, Ogun State, under my own brand. She gave people palliative for for Ramadan, which was which I documented. She is a very good woman. That's what I know.
Let's shift focus now to environmental matters. Flooding is a major challenge during the rainy season, and several factors compound this situation. Diana Ajale in this report takes a look at how flooding is affecting communities and livelihoods in parts of Lagos.
The rainy season is one period many Lagos residents dread, particularly those in flood-prone areas. In Agungi and Ikate communities in Lekki area of the state, for instance, a combination of coastal flooding and flash flood is wreaking havoc.
Concern over the road. Everywhere is flooded. It messes up the car. It gets into our houses.
We are raking gutter, but the water is more than gutters now.
The water is like chemical. It chops our keke. And the keke don't last more than a year here because of the maintenance.
Keep my bike, sir. This road don't spoil my bike. Even my leg, if I show you my leg, this water don't spoil my leg, pata.
Maybe they should just add some drainage, or they should just, this drainage is high, so they should dig into the drainage, so the pressure of the water can be passing through.
The challenge of flooding, residents say, is aggravated by a construction process that has caused blockages, hindering discharge of flood water when it rains.
When they have started the crossover, there is a canal. Now they have blocked that canal. This water cannot go anywhere. When you see between 3 days now, the water will turn to green. And if everybody is entering the water, will be scratching his leg. See, when people is coming to your shop, they say, "Hey, your shop did not reach that water place." You say, "Yes, I can't come."
In 3 days now, I never open shop because of the little rain we for 3 days ago. Full everywhere, even some shop. You can look this place now, they are blocking the shop because of the water entering the shop, because the road almost flood. And this road is major road lead from Express to the community here.
Although climate change is presenting extreme weather events, experts insist that perennial flooding in Agungi, Ikate and other parts of Lagos State can be mitigated through appropriate urban planning and effective flood control mechanisms. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
Let's take you to Rivers State now, where Governor Similaye Fubara has directed heads of local government administration to immediately take charge of the 23 council areas of the state. This follows the expiration of the statutory 3-year tenure of the elected local government chairman, vice chairman and councillors on Monday, June 17th. He gave the directive in a statewide broadcast at the Government House, Port Harcourt. Osinachi Samuel has details.
In a statewide broadcast to officially bring to an end the tenure of local government administration in Rivers State in line with the Constitution, Governor Siminalayi Fubara expressed immense gratitude for the support given to him and his team, urging Rivers people to reflect on the shared sacrifice they have made to have a peaceful and prosperous Rivers State, and indeed Nigeria. The governor prayed for continued peace and harmony in true spirit of brotherhood.
Together, we have achieved milestones in different sectors of our economy, which includes infrastructure, health, education, workers' welfare, improved service delivery, agriculture, and social welfare that resonates deeply into our communities.
The governor acknowledged and commended the dedicated services of the outgoing elected local government chairman, vice chairman, and councillors who were elected and sworn in 3 years ago, whose tenure expired on the 17th of June 2024, as provided by the law, and directed heads of local government administration to take charge of the councils across the state.
I congratulate you all for a successful completion of your tenure and wish you well in your future endeavors.
He assured the people of Rivers State that his administration will continue to defend the interest and aspiration of the people. In Port Harcourt, Osinachi Samuel, NTA News.
And following the end of tenure of local government chairman in Rivers State, most of the council headquarters are being occupied by youths and women from the areas. Kingsley Amajiri reports that the occupation by the youths is amidst a security presence in response to an alleged attempt to vandalize government assets.
The succession process for the local government councils in Rivers State has been a subject of contention after the Martin Amehule-led faction of the State House of Assembly amended the local government law extending their tenure by 6 months. This was, however, invalidated by a Rivers State High Court judgment. With the tenure of the immediate past local government council leadership across 23 local government areas expiring on June 17, 2024, there has been concerns over alleged threats by some of the council chairmen not to vacate office.
They should allow the existing peace we're enjoying in Rivers State. Our tenure has elapsed.
Today I listened to his broadcast and he had directed that the HLGS should take over from the council chairman. And I'm ready to do that.
Across the local government councils visited, youth and women gathered, according to them, to wish the outgone chairman farewell. Some of them said their presence is also to protect government assets from vandalism.
It would be unwise for anybody elected for 3 years, which has the last midnight, to say that you will not leave power. People of Obiabo all came out to see the council and also wish them well.
The governor has already directed heads of local government administration to take over leadership of the councils. The Nigerian police personnel are also stationed at the various council headquarters to forestall breakdown of law and order. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Away from Rivers State, Nigeria's former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, has applauded the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations for its efforts at driving national unity and cohesion since its establishment in 1963. The former Nigerian leader made the commendation when he received a delegation of the institute led by the president and chairman of council, Dr. Ike Niliaku. Harman Jabani, who was part of the team, now reports.
The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations (NIPR) is consulting with prominent Nigerians to rewrite the narrative of the country. It is in the light of this that the institute, led by its president, Dr. Ike Niliaku, visited Nigeria's former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, and Senator Nicholas to seek their support and partnership. General Yakubu Gowon appreciated the effort of the institute in ensuring that people believe in Nigeria and desire a nation where everyone will work together, as exemplified by NIPR and its members.
Well done for the sort of thing that you've been doing and the groups that you met in order to make sure that everybody keep the country together. I can assure you, sometimes I get so worried when you hear divergent views.
In the same vein, Senator Nicholas expressed satisfaction with the quality of current leadership of the institute since inauguration in August 2023. As a real estate developer and investor, he promised to partner with the NIPR on a number of projects, including construction of a befitting office complex for the institute.
Life is for the living. What you're doing has given us opportunity to, breathe out. So I've married a public relations organization. I have to now try to be in the public one way.
The NIPR president speaks more on the visits.
It is part of the activities of the institute in designing a new narrative for the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a responsibility that has been given to us by the first grand patron of the institute, that it is time to design a new narrative for Nigeria, to raise the consciousness of leaders that they need to work with public relations tools to help them to accomplish results.
It is believed that the Institute's forthcoming Diamond Anniversary schedule to hold on 27 June will be a platform to celebrate outstanding Nigerians who have contributed immensely to the success story of the country. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
You're still on to the news at 10 on NTA News 24. We'll take another quick break. Stay with us. Now, towards improving the quality of education at the basic primary level, the Bayelsa State Government, among other measures, has initiated the Bayelsa Prime. How has this initiative impacted the education system? Ebinimi Zitimiola will tell us more.
Quality education is the bedrock of society. Hence, government at all levels and partners are expected to create the enabling environment and provide relevant teaching and learning aids for better results.
They'll be giving us materials. We have a mathematical kit. We have mini lab. All those on our teaching aids that they've given us.
In a bid to redefine teaching and learning and to achieve improved outcomes in public primary schools and Bayelsa State, the government in early 2023 introduced the Bayelsa Promote and Reform to improve and modernize education, Bayelsa Prime, a technology-based basic education reform program. The education reform program commenced with 4 local government areas, had over 2,000 teachers and head teachers trained and equipped with tablets and smartphones for improved teaching and school management. Curious about the effectiveness and sustenance of the laudable initiative, NTA News visited some public schools in the metropolis.
It's good. We are all enjoying it. The children are also learning.
The aspect that is good is monitoring the teachers to be present in the school.
Clocking in the morning and clocking out in the afternoon.
The advantages are not without challenges, which include exclusion of some subjects, durability, and shortage of teachers.
We don't have home economics. We don't have agri science.
Education administrators commit to improving the system.
New teaching techniques that the technical partners are brought into the system that is really improving the educational sector.
Concerned citizens are calling for more investments, close supervision by the supervising ministry and board, and where necessary, the employment of more teachers to lay a solid foundation. Ebinimi Zitemiola, NTA News.
The newly flagged off Metro Line free train service was launched on the 29th of May 2024. Correspondent Kama, who boarded the train from the Abuja metro station to the last stop at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport, reports that the initiative is already making waves in the FCT.
Today, I bring you a groundbreaking development in the transportation sector that is set to revolutionize commuting in Abuja. On the 29th of May 2024, the highly anticipated Metro Light Train free ride was flagged off, and it has been creating a buzz ever since. Imagine a hassle-free journey from the Abuja Metro station to Idu train station all the way to the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport access. And the best part, this free ride runs at least 3 times to and fro in a day.
And directed that it should be free till the end of the year. So I believe that we should also use the services that we provide. That way we can see how it gets better. It's a great effort.
We had the privilege of speaking to some of the passengers who have experienced this new form of transportation, and their testimonies were nothing short of glowing. They raved about the efficiency, comfort, and cost effectiveness of the free ride.
This is actually my first time entering a train, and I'm so marveled. It's very fun. I didn't expect it to be this fun.
It's totally free, and the staffs are very, very good. They are kind. They are very interactive.
This is something we've been hearing about long ago, but had not experienced it. So I think experiencing it today is a thing of joy.
I feel good, very well.
All right, at this point, we'll pause the news and join our outside broadcast crew for a live telecast. Please stay tuned.
God of all creation, and these are one request: help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Amen.
Our special guest for this historic occasion is His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Among other dignitaries from the Northeast state of Nigeria, Taraba, Gombe, Adamawa, Yobe, Bauchi, and of course, Borno State. Thank you once again for joining us. Stay tuned for the rest of the program.